Hello guys, welcome to my second video on survival mode, and this time we're going to be going over like the actual farming and how to deal with zombies, super zombies, and even the alien zombies, and maybe radiation if we're lucky enough to get one. So first thing you want to do is go to the very top. After creating a character, you want to play game and select one of the servers. I'm going to start off on a private server, the good old TSI private server. There it is, the survival initiative. Type in the super secret password, and I'm going to show you guys how to just I guess destroy zombies to the point where they won't even be able to hit you. So zombies are, I guess, very easy to deal with once you know how. First of all, you need to hit them in the head. Hitting them in the body in survival mode will do no damage to them at all. So you'll end up hitting a zombie for hours and just not realize what's going on, but you need to hit them in the head. That's the only way to kill them in survival mode. Most melee weapons will take 3 to 2 hits to the head to kill, unless you've got a very specific weapon that will one-shot them. Alright, so here we spawned in Campus City, which is not a bad spot to farm, especially on a private server. If you are in the official servers, I would be careful because it's a hot spot for PvP. But if you're on an empty server, Campus is not a bad spot to farm at all. Especially because there's these military camps right here in front of us. And it's so close to the settlement, you know, you can loot here, go stash very quickly. That's why it's also a good spot for PvP. To start off, we're going to head over here to the tents. The first things you want to find is probably a backpack, because with the small backpack you only can carry like 8 items. And your amount of weight you can carry, which is down, you can see on the bottom right here, I can only carry like 15 kilograms of stuff. So I'm going to have to watch out for that. And eventually we'll have to sort through our inventory to make sure we take only the best. Now, since I started with no weapons, you can punch zombies to death, but it'll take a while. So I would suggest only pulling one at a time and just tapping him in the head so he doesn't hit you. It's a lot harder to do if you're on a server with a higher ping, because the zombies will sometimes hit you even though you're punch stunning them, which is no fun at all. Here I probably should have turned off item physics, because now they're like laying on the ground and sometimes it's harder to tell if it's a backpack or not. This is armor. Nice little light here. I'll take this little pistol. There you go, we're already rocking arms. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why I have a red dot on my screen, that's because I have a custom crosshair, which is not at all bannable. It's actually something you can do, and all you got to do for that is it's as simple as dropping a crosshair file into your infestation folder, and it's just restart your game and boom, it'll be there. I'll drop a link in the description to the crosshair page where you can just pick one out, or I think it also explains how to make your own. I'll just drop that in the link in the description for you boys. Alright. So here I'm skipping over a lot of stuff because I know it won't be useful, but for new players you can go ahead and pick up mystery skins and go ahead and learn them. I've already learned like a majority of them, so I won't be picking any of those up. Here I got a police baton, which does 30 damage. That's weird how they separate the damage between players and zombies, but 30 damage, so it should be only 3 hits to the head to kill a zombie. Let's see, I need a test subject. run over here and pull this guy. That's a 4 hit to the head. But it might be 3 if you have the maxed out red skill tree. Which is definitely something you want to get as quick as possible. Well, not as quick as possible. After you finish everything else, then you get it. So the tip to beating the zombies is just hitting them in the head and stun locking them. And what I mean by that is that when you hit them, they'll stagger, and you can you have a short time to like hit them again and run away, like this, which doesn't work all the time. Sometimes they'll just smack you but sometimes you'll be able to pass them. So now here on the bottom left, right above my minimap, you can see there's a red bleeding icon, which just means that I'm bleeding. Which means I really need to find a bandage now, or else I'll probably end up bleeding to death. I'm just gonna be using MP5, MP7, my bad, to kill zombies now, because I don't want to get hit again. Ooh, nice little AR. There's... I need to get to a safe spot. I'm gonna get up here on these boxes where zombies can't get me. There's a wiki page with all the guns that are possible to find. Here, I'll show it. This here. This is what you'll need. Well, not need, but this is a useful page to like see what kind of weapons you can find and all their stats. But due to the recent patch on ARs, I would not really go by this, like by the stats on this, and just explore the weapons for yourself, because I don't think any of the stats has changed since the update, so it's probably out of date information. I'm already running out of space, so I'm just gonna drop that armor. Take these stanags here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this P90 instead of the P7. So, the reason for that is I would rather have a gun with more bullets, because all it takes is one bullet from any gun. The zombie is head and they're dead. Let's see. A good way to get bandages is just killing zombies. Sometimes they'll drop it, or by going towards a mid-center, which I'll show you in a bit. This money that the zombies drop, it currently has no use, but eventually they'll release updates on a marketplace for it, so might as well grab it while you can. Build up your little money stock. So the reason why I'm jumping up and down like this is so I can see over walls. Like for example this fence here, if you just walk around it you wouldn't be able to see, but since I can jump, I can kind of like see over it, you know, and see if there's anyone else behind it, which of course when I'm on a private server there isn't, but it's just for showing. And sometimes you'll be able to like spawn out loot by jumping around like that. I'm not getting any luck with bandages, so I'm just gonna run towards the med center. If you sprint, you can outrun zombies. So as long as you've got a decent amount of sprint, which is right above your health bar, you shouldn't really worry about it. Hey, look at that. We're lucky. We got a bandage. I tend to try to keep my hotbar at clear. That way, when I pick up meds, it'll automatically be placed on a 3, 4, 5, or 6 slot. And it just makes it easier. Instead of having to go into your inventory and like click on something and heal yourself. If you see water, definitely pick it up. Because there's some areas in the map where it's really hard to find food and water, and you'll end up just starving and not having anything you can do about it. So at least pick up like something for drinking and at least one thing of food. One item for food. Because as you travel between towns, it'll definitely be now my backpack is full, so I'm gonna kind of have to be selective with what I pick up. These antibiotics are really good for picking up. I'm just gonna drop my Evo then. Really good for PvP. It heals you, what is that, 30, and then plus the bonuses later on. Pills, if you have space for it, definitely pick those up, because you can craft antibiotics or painkillers, and that actually brings up a good topic, the crafting system. So here I just press escape, but you can also just open up your inventory, and then the very top here, you can craft items with stuff that you pick up. So I'm not gonna go over everything, but if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. And like I said, those pills, you need a pill case and 5 or 3 pills, and you can craft these painkillers. It takes like, I believe, 7 seconds to craft it. And you know, if you want, you just go through the list and kind of see like the interesting things to pick up. I think personally I would try and get like all the cloth and metal that you see. I would definitely pick that up. The leather is also a good thing to be picking up. The glue, a lot of people need glue for making items like clean sweep here. You know, the leather and the cloth, thread, and military backpacks. Getting a hunter backpack, I think, is the biggest survival backpack out right now. So this could be like an in-game goal of getting a hunter backpack, because it makes it easier for farming, especially on a private server, and it's good for trading. A bunch of heavy items. I'm gonna get rid of my bunny head just for those bandages, because they're worth it. A CO4 vaccine. Ooh, here's where it starts to get tough. I'm just gonna reload, drop that extra mag, and take up the CO4 vaccine. And the reason for that is sometimes zombies will infect you, and you'll need either a CO1, which is a white version of this, or a CO4. The CO4 will cure your infection like by 100%, so it'll remove everything, your full bar of infected. The CO1 will only remove a small portion of it. So if you can, try and save these for when your bar is full, to maximize its effect. And if it's smaller, just use a CO1 if you find it, of course. There's some pills here, and I do want to pick them up, so I'm actually going to probably trade out my food for it to pick up those painkillers. Oh, here, this butterfly knife, I believe it's a 2-hit weapon if you have a maxed out red skill tree. I don't think I can see the skill tree here. You can only see the skill tree in the character menu. Let's go to the police station, and then let's make our way to like Oak Mountain Rest Stop. Or actually, no. Since we're close to the safe zone, I might as well just go to the safe zone, so I can show you guys how to stash your stuff. Let's see, anything good in here? These barricades are useful to pick up. It'll allow you to get on places you couldn't normally do, and that could give you a nice advantage in PvP. Oh, is that a... No, it's no TV. Oh, I was about to say, if that was an Alice backpack, it would have been good. Here, there's an AKM. Let's see. We're not going to be using the PKM to shoot zombies anymore, because we have a 2-shot weapon. And the AKM is just way better in PvP, so we're gonna be taking that instead. There's nice G36 ammo. If I could, I would pick that up. And like I said before, if you see mystery skins, pick them up, excuse me, and just use it, learn the skin, and if you have it already, then just drop it. Yeah, by the way, to set up skins, you just right click the item and just put set skin, and you can change it to whatever skin you currently have. Just apply it, and then you have your skin on you, and to take it off, you just right click it again and remove skin. I believe I see a backpack this time, a medium backpack on this car here. There's a grenade right there. Definitely pick up grenades. That is a really good item to have in PvP, especially when people are camping inside walls, behind a tree, for example. Throwing grenades at them will definitely get them moving. So instead of having like a Mexican standoff, you can just toss grenades and your fight will be over real soon. This little metal thing here, I believe you need a pickaxe or a wrench or something like that in order to pick it up. I'm not 100% sure. But this right here, this stack of metal is what you need. It'll give you a decent amount of metal. I've never farmed it before, so I don't know if you need a wrench or something to actually pick it up. You'll find, sometimes out in the woods, you'll find like piles of logs, and I believe you need an axe or a hatchet in order to pick those up. I'm just looking at these rooftops to see if there's anything interesting. It doesn't really look like it. Yoink all the money. Once actually, you know what? I'm not even going to hit the save zone. I'm gonna switch over to an official server with people on it, so I can show you kind of like how to stay alive when there's actually danger near. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Now, there's one thing to notice though, when you switch between servers, if you're on the same version, like the same map version, like for example here I'm on Colorado V1, and I switch to another Colorado V1, it's going to move me to a place near campus where I just was. But if I stay there for, I believe, 1 or 2 hours, it'll allow me to log in at the same spot. If I got disconnected and I reconnect, I'll just spawn where I disconnected on that same server. I hope that was clear. Right. Let's just hop into an Europe server. There's a 20 pop here. Normally I would go to a 0 pop to show you, you know, this is where you should go. If you see a pop with like very few people on it, definitely go for it. But since I'm trying to show you how to survive when there's people nearby, I'm just going to go to the highest pop at the moment. I guess a quick info that I might have skipped on is the melee weapons. I don't have a list on all the ones that do like 2 to 3 hits, but you can figure that out for yourself. Just give the zombies a couple whacks in the head. Alright, so here you definitely don't want to be shooting a gun, because guns will alert people where you are real fast. And that's not something that we want. So what we're gonna do is keeping an eye out for like the zombie dollars and zombie movement. This one's pretending to be dead, so he's not really giving any information out. But if we ever see like a zombie running off in the distance, it's probably because he's chasing someone. I'm actually gonna heal myself to full, or almost full. And we want to just be keeping an ear out for gunshots. Oh, I got stuck on the door there for a second. Good. Alright, so in this And campus, this military tents is a great spot to farm. The 5-story, which I'll be heading to next. Oh, there's a guy. There's a person currently jumping up and down on that bridge. So what we in a PvP situation, if I'm like confident enough that I can kill him, I'll just try and stay out of his sight and move around and try to get to a position where I could kill him. Which, you know what, let's just go for it. You gotta die to learn sometimes. So here, because I already know a lot of the map, I'm just gonna kind of like use buildings as cover and just try and stay undercover so he doesn't see where I am as I try to move up on him. Definitely clear all the zombies if you can, because they'll be super annoying if you don't clear them and you just try to run away from them. I believe the guy just moved left, so we're just going to be moving straight towards them. This is a very dangerous spot to be pushing because they're like really out in the open. But I believe he didn't see us, so we should be able to make it up without getting shot. Let's get my frag grenade ready. Don't see him running around right now. So our goal right now is to hit this ladder that's back here. And in order to ping, which it's only really useful when you have a clan, but I'm using it to show out locations. I set mine to be middle mouse button, which makes it so much easier to ping when you're in a tough situation. Alright, here a thing to note is that he can probably hear me running if he was right above me, but I would also be able to hear him unless he's sneak walking. And I think default sneak walk is caps lock, and here you can hear that I'm not making any noise anymore as I walk, which is really useful for sneaking up on people. Alright, and up the ladder we go. Okay, let's look around. He's not here anymore. Kinda look like a running zombie over there. But I think that he's just being a weird zombie. Okay, so I think he made his way down this way. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just got hit by a Rosen, so what I'm gonna try and do is dodge around and get behind cover. Where in the world was that from? I was not paying attention to that zombie. I'm just gonna go prone real quick so I can change my meds. Alright, I have no clue where this guy shot me from. It sounded kind of far off, but he might be behind that. Huh. Or he could be on the back of this bridge. I have no clue where he shot me from. It's, that zombie ran all the way around, so he's not on the edge. Okay, so since I don't know where he is, I'm gonna try and run away. Maybe even bait him to shoot again. It's getting nighttime, so my vision's gonna be really bad without night vision, which I currently do not have. Let's just keep running away then, before this gets hairy. I'm not gonna use my meds right now because using a painkiller would be kind of a waste, and using my my bandages would also be kind of a waste, because if I start bleeding and I don't have any bandages, that could be fatal for me. Here I'm just gonna try and make my way over to the 5-story. Now, the reason why I'm jumping all the time, it makes it a lot harder for someone to hit you in the head when you're constantly moving and jumping at the same time, instead of going in a straight line. If you run in a straight line, it makes it super easy to hit you in the head. That's why you'll see some of the pro players kind of like go left and right, do full circles. It makes it so much easier to dodge people because it's not in a straight line, and then you're kind of like throwing them off because they're trying to pre-aim in front of you. Oh, I hear footsteps. So this guy is either on the roof or on one of the okay, he's not on the roof. That green dot you see there is someone spawning with spawn protection. That green glow is just the spawn protection, and once it comes off, they'll be back to normal. So there's definitely someone inside my building right now. I heard him. Question is, what floor is he on? I accidentally jumped one floor lower than I would have liked to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly drop through like every window on my way down. And I didn't see him, so I'm just going to go right up back up the ladder. And do the same thing on the other side. Haven't found him yet. Oh, he threw a chem light. Normally there's not a glow here, so he probably threw a chem light. Don't ever just go grab loot like that. I'm just grabbing it because it gave me it gives me a little bit of health. I'm gonna have to deal with this zombie real quick. So he's either on the second floor, or maybe he's most likely on the second floor. I'm just gonna go back up here on the roof again. So the reason why I go to the roof and go back down through the windows all the time is because if I go through the middle, he's probably waiting for me. So at least with this, I can I have a chance of like surprising him from behind. Ooh, hatch. I have a chance of like just dropping in on him from behind and you won't see it coming. He doesn't move around at all, so it's hard to hear what room he's in. I didn't mean to fall down there. So on the second floor, oh there he is, he's moving. On the second floor, there's a little ring that allows you to walk all the way around. I'm just gonna kind of use that to like, oops, kind of fell too far down there. Oh, there he is. So now we found him, and I know he's sticking out in the open, but he doesn't know that I know where he is, so killing him is going to be really easy right here. All we got to do is, oh, this poor guy. All we're going to do is just set up our crosshair to be aiming at his head, and then slowly peek out. And he's dead. Don't always rush for the loot. I just know there's only one person in here, so I'm just kind of like running in and clearing it. And now we get some free pickings. Maybe this was the Muslim guy who showed us. I thought they came from a different direction. Nothing too crazy in his gear. Maybe the binoculars would be nice to have. He didn't have any night vision. But yeah, that guy was, he knew, the idea was good. When you hear someone, sometimes a good idea would be just to stay put and kind of like hide yourself and wait for that person to just like push up on you. But the guy's mistake was he was too out in the open. Like, I was able to just keep moving around until I eventually found him. I'm just kind of like looking around now because I made noise, and when someone hears gunshots, they come in running. A nice thing to do from time to time is also checking the player tab by pressing tab. Or I have it set to where when I press tab, I have this. Sometimes you'll notice clans like the GWM, they like to PvP in Clearview or Smallville. I don't see they haven't captured any flags, so I can't really say where they are right now. But they like to be in this little triangle of PvP cities. Alright, well, now that we've got some loots in our bag, I was scared I was gonna hurt myself again jumping through there. We're gonna make our way to the safe zone, keeping in mind that we did see someone spawn on this side, so we'll have to watch out for him. Playing with a chicken head really isn't stealthy at all. I'm just doing it for the memes. If you can, just like pick up a mask or something, because it'll at least give you some protection. Like, even just a random hat will give you a little bit of protection, I believe. I thought I heard someone to my left. I am just not sure about it. I believe I aggroed that zombie. The reason why it's not running straight for me is because it can't jump over this, so it has to go all the way around to me. I believe we're good to go. Yeah, that zombie's coming for me. Here, the reason I got him is because I already know like how the 5-star works. I PvP'd there for years, so I know all these little tips and tricks and little areas, which will probably be in my next video, which I'll explain more on how to PvP and the art of war. The art of winning and getting that loot. Oh shit, there's a guy right there. I gotta get rid of these real quick. Do you have a group of zombies? You wanna try to get it to where you're facing one at a time? Where'd he go? I think he saw me and he's running away. I wanted to give this guy a hatchet because it'll be easier for him to farm, but I think he's more worried about his survival than he is making friends. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna drop him a hatchet, and then I'm just gonna run to the safe zone. Obviously, the safer bet would be to just kill him, because these Bambis are dangerous. If he had a gun, he would have definitely killed me if he could, but he didn't, so I got lucky there. Yeah, I think GWM is taking Smallville right now. So, good thing we're not there. And here we're just going to be running straight to the safe zone, nothing interesting. Let me think if there's any more tips I could probably give. As for beginners, just kind of like take everything if you can. Just kind of pick up everything, and then as your backpack gets full, just kind of drop stuff that are less valuable, which you'll learn over time on what you like to have and what you don't like to have. Here I picked up, I don't usually use this red dot here, but since I was in a PvP situation, like someone shot at me and I needed like the more chances to win, I picked this attachment up, only because it gives me a scope, but because it'll naturally add some bonuses to your weapon. Like my range was increased and my spread was reduced by 15. My spread percent. Jesus, English. Yeah, so my spread reduction will be reduced by 15%. If I didn't have it on, it would have, let's see, put on this, I wouldn't have a scope, which makes it, actually, I don't know. I was too busy looking in my inventory that I didn't notice there was a guy in front of me. Well, I guess this is also part of the game. You have to get used to dying. It'll happen a lot, definitely as a beginner. You'll die a lot. It'll be frustrating, but you know, just keep trying, and eventually you'll be stashing with all this loot all the time. You'll be making bank. This guy he's lucky. He just came from the safe zone to go stash. I mean, not to go stash, to go to campus. We'll give him that. He's bats guy. I hope he enjoys our Bambi loot. Yeah, so even I die from time to time. You can't win all the fights. This is why I would suggest making more than one character. That way when one of yours is dead, you can just switch over to the next one and then continue the map exploration and farming experience. I believe that's going to be everything for my farming video. I definitely missed a lot of tips and tricks, so I might make a second video on this as well. If you guys have any information you want to that I missed out on, just drop it down in the comments. And I believe that's it. I'll see you guys next time.